Asante Sana Warden. As we say in the Harambe, we say Twande, which means let's go. Hey, Jumbo everybody, my name's Brian. I'll be your safari guide for your journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we work toward the preservation of wildlife and engage our guests in conservation. You know, friends, what we see with our eyes, we value in our heart. Directly above you, you'll notice the animal spotting guides. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing all of those animals today because depending on how the animals migrate, we don't always see all of those animals. However, friends, we usually have some pretty good luck. Friends, for your safety and the safety of other guests on your safari today, please remain in your seats for the entire safari. You know, friends, on the count of 3, you guys are gonna yell Twande, which means let's go, and your safari here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve will begin. Are you guys ready for a safari this morning? Okay, guys, on the count of 3, you're gonna yell Twande, which in Swahili means let's go. 1, 2, 3! Let's go. Friends, your safari begins here in the Little Ituri Forest. Here in the Little Ituri Forest, these animals' natural colors and markings actually help to keep the animals camouflaged from their predators. Let's see what we can find in the Little Ituri Forest this morning. Friends, on your right-hand side is the beautiful Okapi. Although the Okapi has a zebra-like stripe on its hindquarters and its front legs, it actually is not related to the zebra at all. It's actually related to the giraffe. It has a skull and a prehensile tongue like the giraffe. Now, friends, I'll teach you a little bit more about the prehensile tongue when we actually see the giraffe. And by the way, we're not going home until we see a giraffe this morning. And I was told this morning I'm packed for a 2-week safari. So you guys don't mind being on safari for 2 weeks, do you? Let's head on into the Ituri Forest, guys. Wow, over there on the left-hand side is the black rhino. The black rhino is the smallest of the rhino family, weighing only 3,000 pounds. Friends, the rhinos today are being poached extensively for their horns. You know, friends, there are only about 5,000 rhinos left in the world. You know, guys, their horns are made out of keratin, which is like your fingernail and hair. Their horns have no scientific or medicinal value to human beings. Guys, on the very top of the bank on your right-hand side, there was a crimson animal up there a second ago. We're going to go around the bend. The animal that's here on the right-hand side is the greater kudu, that tan and grayish animal. It is the second tallest antelope, standing 55 inches tall at its shoulder. Let's go around the bend and see if we can find that other beautiful crimson animal. That animal on the right-hand side, the crimson color, is called the Bongo. The Bongo's nickname is the ghost of the forest. That's why it's hidden behind the trees and the shrubs. I think they are the neatest animal because they have a strip of hair that stands up on their spine and the stripe actually follows through. Both the male and the female Bongo have horns, which is not common. There's another one up there on the tree line at the back. Not all of the antelope have horns, only the males have the horns. Friends, would you like to see some hippopotamus this morning? I know of a great water hole down near the Safi River where we usually have pretty good luck spotting for the hippopotamus. While we are driving to the Safi River, guys, though, let's brush up on our Swahili. You know, guys, when you guys got to the dock, we said Jambo. Jambo actually means hello, and here in the Harambe, it is only polite and proper that when someone says Jambo to you, that you answer back as loud, if not louder, than the person that wishes you Jambo. So let's try this, guys. Jambo, everyone. Jambo! Now, that's a good way to kick off a morning safari. We're going to be traveling pole-pole. Pole-pole means slowly, slowly, while we are looking for the hippo along the Safi River. Guys, the hippo has no sweat glands, so the only way that it can stay cool is by staying submerged in the water. They can actually hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. They will eat between 80 and 90 pounds of foliage a day. Guys, on the right-hand side is the hippopotamus. They will eat to the point that their maximum weight is 5,500 pounds. Guys, on the left-hand side is a group of hippos. Does anyone know what they call a group of hippos? It's actually called a bloat of hippos, B-L-O-A-T. Now, guys, the way that I remember that is that a hippopotamus really does not swim. It actually walks along the banks and it floats, and the word float rhymes with float, right? On the island are the pinkback pelicans. The pinkback pelicans get their name because during mating season, we literally can see their pink skin through their feathers, the pinkback pelicans. Now, another reason, friends, for driving pole or slowly is for your safety. Friends, please keep your arms and legs inside the truck. We normally see the Nile crocodiles along the banks of this river, and we don't want any close encounters with those Nile crocodiles. On your left-hand side are those Nile crocodiles. Those Nile crocodiles will grow to be 16 to 20 feet long, weighing between 500 and 600 pounds. They have the most ferocious bite of any animal. Their bite is equivalent to 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Friends, their bite is bone-crushing. I don't know about you, but no more poly. Let's get out of here. Friends, we're going to travel as far and as fast away from those Nile crocodile. We're going to head on down toward the savannah. Friends, 25 years ago, the Disney's animation team went on a safari and went through the savannah, just like we are today. And the tapestry of life and color and sound and movement and patterns inspired them to create the movie The Lion King. Let's see how we can be inspired by the animals this morning as well. Guys, you're going to notice that the ecosystem is changing ever so slightly from the little Ituri forest to that of the savannah. Not only is the foliage changing on your right-hand side, but even the trees are looking a little bit different. On your right-hand side is the baobab tree. The baobab tree is leafless 9 months out of the year. It also is called the tree of life, and the reason it's called the tree of life is because it can store up to 30,000 gallons of water in its trunk that the animals may need to survive during the dry season here on the savannah. The baobab tree normally lives 2,500 years, but we need conservation because the baobab trees are dying right now prematurely, and we're doing some studies right now to find out why they're dying. Friends, imagine that circle of life if the animals need water to survive and the baobab tree no longer is there, and how that affects the whole circle. Guys, let's head on into the savannah, see if we can be inspired like the other animation team. This is a beautiful savannah. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of animals out there this morning. What a beautiful day on a safari. Out there you'll see the Maasai giraffe, you'll see the white-bearded wildebeest, and also the springbuck. Where do we start? Let's start with the Maasai giraffe, guys, on the right-hand side. The Maasai giraffe will grow to be a towering 20 foot tall, making it the tallest mammal in the world. They have 7 vertebrae in their neck. Ironically, that's how many vertebrae we have in our neck as human beings, but guys, theirs is a little bit larger than ours. We'll talk a little bit more about the Maasai giraffe as we head on into our safari this morning. Over there on the right-hand side, those small antelope are actually known as springbucks. The springbuck, as their name, will spring literally 6 feet in the air and leap 13 feet at the same time. When they run, they look almost like they're flying. They remind me, friends, almost like dolphins in the water as they're cresting. Their front legs are stretched straight out the front and their legs straight out the back. Guys, on the left-hand side on the cave are the painted dogs. Some people refer to these guys as the wild African dogs. You know, friends, I don't find them to be wild at all. You know, I was met with a conservationist by the name of Greg Resman, who actually was telling me that these dogs, actually in the morning when they get awake, they will literally greet one another before they will go out and do their business. The alpha male and alpha female, they're not selected by who is the most powerful or the best hunter. The whole pack will actually choose who they want to be their alpha male and alpha female. Greg Rasman, by the way, guys, has been supported by the Disney's Conservation Fund for almost 30 years. I call them the painted dogs. Again, friends, the word Harambe in Harambe Wildlife Reserve means that everything works in harmony. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice a termite mound. Even that has a purpose in the circle of life. The termite mound is made up of red clay, saliva, and animal dung. It gets almost as strong as concrete here on the reserve. The elephant actually will use those as scratching posts. So the 13,000-pound elephant will eventually be as tall as that termite mound. Again, friends, directly in front of the truck are those beautiful springbucks. As I said, check them out on YouTube, guys. Springbuck. And again, they don't run on four legs, they literally will pounce and leap. Directly in front of the truck, guys, is a young baby giraffe. That giraffe was born right here on the safari, on the savanna, about 14 weeks ago. When that baby giraffe was born, it was born 6 foot tall, and within its first hour, it was able to stand and walk. Now, friends, the giraffe has to be 6 foot tall in order to nurse from its mother, because the mother, the adult giraffe, has high metabolism, and they only rest or sleep between 30 and 40 minutes a day, and usually they don't rest laying down because they would be vulnerable to prey. So the baby has to be, the young giraffe has to be that tall in order to nurse. Guys, on the right hand side, you'll notice the white-bearded wildebeest. Now guys, the white-bearded wildebeest migrates in a herd of 1.5 million, and they travel between 500 and 1,000 miles per year. You know, guys, their strength in numbers. How do you keep 1.5 wildebeest together for safety? Well, actually, they have scent glands in their hooves, and the last wildebeest can actually smell where the whole herd has traveled. When the Disney's animation team saw these animals running, they were mesmerized for the new Lion King movie opening up this morning, guys. They were mesmerized that they actually did thousands of computerized renderings of the wildebeest running. Friends, I can't wait to see the movie and see how that all pieces together in the new Lion King movie. The wildebeest. Getting back to the discussion of the Maasai giraffe, guys, the Maasai giraffe is identified by its irregular, jagged coat, and no two coats are exactly the same. If there's a group of giraffe, friends, it's called a tower of giraffes. Here on the Kilimanjaro Safaris, again, it's our goal to engage people in conservation. Friends, are you aware, seeing all the trees that are downed up ahead, that's a good sign of scouting for the elephants. Are you aware that there are still 96 elephants a day being poached for their ivory? Friends, you heard that correct, 96 elephants a day. Friends, when I did the math, that's about 1 elephant is poached every 15 minutes. Guys, you know the law of supply and demand. If there's demand, there's supply. Moral of the story, to save the elephant is just refrain from purchasing anything made out of ivory. I'm still seeing a lot of trees down ahead. Let's keep moving forward and see if we can't find some beautiful elephants this morning. Friends, on the right-hand side is that beautiful African elephant. Friends, the African elephant, on the back of their ears, they actually have blood vessels. And by flapping their ears, they can literally lower their body temperature by 15 degrees. Man, I wish on a hot day I'd be able to flap my big ears and lower my body temperature by 15 degrees. How about you guys? Would you guys like to hear a little story about conservation, the Disney's Conservation Fund, and the elephants? The elephants were actually stampeding across the farmers' crops, destroying the farmer's income. The farmer, of course, was not very happy. So we actually reached out to the Disney Conservation Fund, And you'll never believe what we found in the results of that research. That huge elephant over there, 13,000-pound elephant, was afraid of the little itsy-bitsy bumblebee. So what we did was we taught the farmer to put up a fence line up around the perimeter of his crops, and every so often hang a beehive. If the elephant came too close to the to the fence line, it would send a vibration to the hive. The bees would come out and literally scare the elephants away. It was beautiful, guys. It was a win-win. The farmer preserved his crops. The farmer preserved his income. The farmer actually thought it was a really sweet deal because he got to sell the honey from the honeybees. True story, and thank you to the Disney's Conservation Fund. Let's head onward, guys. We're gonna travel through the red clay pit, see if we can't find more signs of that elephant. Friends, on the right-hand side, you're going to notice that the elephants were just here in the red clay pits, digging in the red clay. The elephants actually will eat that red clay as a mineral subsidy to their diet. So we're on the right path, friends. Let's keep moving forward, see if we can't find more elephants. Guys, on the left-hand side, I'm seeing a little bit of movement. Friends, not only is poaching a serious concern for the life of the elephant, but the elephant is losing thousands and thousands of acres of its habitat because of mining of the mineral coltan. Friends, a 13,000-pound elephant needs thousands of acres of foliage a year just to survive. That coltan that I was talking to you about that they're mining for is used in all of our cell phones, our iPads, and computers, friends. So by recycling, you are actually helping to save the life of those elephants over there. From what I'm being told, coltan can be used over and over again. It never goes bad. There's some more beautiful elephants over there on the left. You'll notice the elephant has dirt on his back. The elephant actually throws dirt on his back, not for good luck, but the dirt actually acts as sunscreen so the elephant will not get sunburned. What a beautiful animal. He must be a little warm. He's flapping his ears. Now, guys, I said that the animals actually would drink from the baobab tree. The animals themselves actually will chew on the branch and the roots, which actually become a straw. The elephants have another idea to get to the water. They literally will dig into the center of the tree to get to the water. You'll notice that the elephants were trying to dig into both of these trees. The bark and the tree itself is actually rather soft. We're gonna stop here and give you guys a photo op. What a beautiful animal. 13,000 pounds. On your left-hand side, friends, are the greater flamingos. The greater flamingos, friends, get their beautiful pink color because of their diet. They eat brine shrimp, and brine shrimp is high in beta-carotene, turning their feathers that beautiful color pink. Friends, you know what they call a group of flamingo? They're called a flamboyance of flamingo. Try saying that 5 times real fast, guys. Flamboyance, flamingo, flamboyance, flamingo, flamboyance, flamingo, flamboyance, flamingo. Okay, I've had a little bit of practice, guys. We're gonna be heading over into the eastern part of the savannah. The animals here are a little different than on the west side. Let's see what we can be inspired by this morning. Friends, on the left-hand side is a huge mud hole. And directly in front of the truck, friends, is the largest of the rhino family, known as the white rhino. Hold on one second, friends. Reserve Warden Safari 38. White rhino in the road path. That's the mud hole. 10-4. Friends, I apologize for the inconvenience. Of course, the animals here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve actually have the right of way. So actually this is positive because it gives us a little bit more time to admire the beauty of these animals. Guys, these are called the pied rhino. The pied rhino were actually given their name by the Germans, who actually colonized the southern part of Africa. When the Germans saw this animal, they called it the pied rhino because it has a really wide snout, and the word pied means wide. You know, as the decades passed, it was shortened up to the white rhino. However, the color white has absolutely nothing to do with the white rhino. These guys weigh between 4,000 to 5,000 pounds, and they can run at a crashing speed of 30 to 34 miles per hour. Friends, imagine that, an animal weighing 5,000 pounds running up to 34 miles per hour. A group of rhino, friends, is called a crash. A crash of rhino. How beautiful are they? They are huge. We're gonna travel pole. Reserve word is Safari 38. Friends, we're going to head on over to the Okapi. The Okapi is a tall stone structure where the larger mammals like to hang out the scope for the prey down here in the lower land of the savanna. Guys, you know that I'm talking about the lions. Friends, 1 century ago, 100 years ago, there were over 200,000 lions in the wild. Guys, when the first Lion King movie came out 25 years ago, there were only 40,000 lions in the wild. Today, friends, sad to say, there are only 20,000 lions in the wild. Friends, with the opening of the new Lion King movie opening up today, it is the Disney's Conservation Fund goal in celebration of the new movie to actually increase the pride by 20,000 to 40,000 by the year 2050. Friends, if you're interested in getting involved in protecting the pride, stop by any of the merchandise establishments here in the Harambe. The Wildlife Conservation Fund, Disney's Conservation Fund, will match any contribution dollar for dollar, and you'll receive a beautiful pin to wear with pride that you support wildlife conservation. Friends, on the left-hand side are the Bonte bucks. The Bonte bucks are almost extinct in the wild. There are only 250 of them on reserves like ours today. Speaking of protecting the pride, friends, you know, thank you so much for being on safari today, because the Disney's Conservation Fund, for every guest we take on safari today through July 25th, they will donate $2 for every guest that we have on the truck with us, up to the total maximum of donation of $350,000. It is our goal here at Kilimanjaro of the safari drivers to match that within those days, July 19th to the 25th, friends. On the left-hand side, friends, is the pride of lions. The lions actually will rest between 14 and 16 hours a day, preparing to do their hunting at night. Well, that's not totally true. The females do the hunting at night. The male lion, they just hang out in the man cave. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, friends, we need to travel on. Let's see what else we can see today. Friends, if I have any Wilderness Explorers on my truck on page 15, in order to get your Safari Merit Badge, you guys need to know the name of my truck. My favorite animal is that lion over there, so I gave my truck the Swahili name for lion. This is for all the kids and the kids at heart that are on my safari today. The name of my truck is Simba1, S-I-M-B-A-1, roar! All right, friends, that's supposed to be funny, and I'm still working on my roar. Guys, on the left-hand side is the Warthog. Friends, again, when the animation team saw the Warthog, they saw how light it would walk with a bounce and a little bit of a lilt with its tail straight up in the air. Of course, you know that the animation team mimicked the Warthog for what character in the Lion King movie? Its name is Pumbaa. The warthog is related to the domesticated pig. However, they are smarter, in my opinion, than the average pig. They will back themselves into a burrow, keeping their razor-sharp tusks to the front to deter the predators from poking their heads in their burrows. Let's keep heading onward, guys, see what we can find. Friends, on the right-hand side, you'll see that the ostrich overnight left us some eggs. Those ostrich eggs there on the right-hand side weigh an average of 3 pounds apiece, equivalent to 2 dozen chicken eggs. Friends, those shells are so tough that I'd be able to do a tap dance routine on top of all of those eggs, and they would not crack or break. However, friends, do me a favor this morning. Take my word for it, because you really don't want to see me tap dancing on those ostrich eggs this morning. We're going to head on into the Magadi Glen. The Magadi Glen is similar to that of the Ituri forest. It is forest-like. However, the humidity is high, meaning that there must be some water close by. Let's head into the Magadi Glen. Friends, it's time for your Kilimanjaro Safari quiz. Are you guys ready? You get 4 questions. Let's see how well you do this morning. First question, what do you call a group of hippopotamus? It is called a bloat. Good job. That's number 1. Number 2, what do you call a group of giraffes? A tower of giraffes. Number 3, what do you call a group of flamingo? A flamboyance. And last, for 100%, what do you call a group of rhino?
A crash.
A crash. Excellent job. You guys got 100%. Friends, on your left-hand side, laying on top of the bank is a scimitar horned oryx. The scimitar horned oryx has the longest antlers of any antelope. Its antlers are approximately 5 to 6 feet long. Friends, you know, you had an awesome safari this morning. We saw a lot of beautiful animals again. Thank you so much for being here and being on safari and helping to support the donation of $2 per member on the safari today toward our $350,000 goal. You know, guys, I'd like to encourage everyone, please recycle those cell phones and electronics and computers and help save the life of the elephants. You know, guys, the majority of the animals that we saw this morning on safari seriously are endangered species. So I leave you with a few questions. If we don't get involved in conservation, friends, who will? And will these beautiful animals be around for future generations to admire and be inspired if we don't get involved in conservation? You know, friends, I'm really excited, and I'd like to give credit to you guys. You know what, guys? Since 1995, generous guests like you that have donated toward protecting the pride in the Disney's Conservation Fund, with the Disney's matching contribution, we have raised, the Disney Conservation has raised over $75 million toward wildlife conservation. That's something to be really proud of, guys, and we need to continue to protect the pride and increase those numbers from 20,000 to 40,000 by the year 2050. Friends, thank you so much for being here today. It truly was my honor and pleasure to take you guys on safari this morning. On behalf of Kilimanjaro Safaris, my name is Brian. I'd like to say that it is my hope that the beautiful animals that you guys saw this morning on your safari, you will treasure in your hearts forever. We don't say goodbye because goodbye is too final. So we actually say kwaherini, which means go well, friends, until we meet again. On behalf of Kilimanjaro Safaris, guys, thank you so much for everything that you guys do, and come back and see us again sometime here at Kilimanjaro Safaris. Thanks again, guys. Kwaherini.
Yay.
Thank you.